everybody. Welcome back to the Steam 2-Week Dive, where we take a look at all the strange, interesting, weird hits in the next 2 weeks on Steam. Whether you're into hardcore dodgeball or hardcore sex, there's gonna be a game in the next 2 weeks for you. So let's begin. All right, first up on our list is a game about multiplayer, team-based dodgeball. Our first title up is called Knockout City from EA Games, and it's a multiplayer, competitive, cooperative dodgeball game in which you and two friends throw balls better than all of the opponents on the field. You can do 3v3, 4v4, or free-for-all matches as well. Now, I've actually watched quite a bit of this on Twitch. A buddy of mine was playing it, and it honestly looks insanely fun. If you want something that I believe may be free-to-play... Wait, is it free-to-play? It may not be free-to-play. Okay, take that back. Probably not free-to-play, but I don't know how... Man, it has to be. This game has to be free-to-play? There's no way. Anyway, if you want to play some multiplayer cooperative dodgeball, Knockout City comes out May 21st. Do you like bullet hell games? Does the word Toho strike fear into your heart? If you know what the word Toho means, then you already know what kind of game this is. Blue Devil in the Belvedere comes out on May 21st and is sure to challenge even the most veteran of Toho players. Toho is a pretty simple concept. All you gotta do is not get hit by one of the 72 million projectiles on your screen, and then that's it. Hold down the fire button and coast to victory. There's only sadness here. After that, do you like porn games? Well, have I got a game for you, because in May you can buy Tower of Waifus 2, the sequel to the very, very popular, very well-known Tower of Waifu. Now, the sequel brings, I have no idea, because there's only one screenshot of the actual game, which appears to be a room full of traps. The rest of the screenshots are various women who I suspect will be filleting you. Congrats, Tower Waifus 2. Or maybe your idea of a good time is more the VR thing. Well, guess what? VR hentai lesbian sex, which is all capitalized for some reason, comes out on May 22nd, which features Japanese lesbians and you among them. Enter virtual reality in an exciting porn adventure. Make your sexual dreams come true. The developer describes this content as very realistic lesbian sex scenes for adults only. After that, on May 24th, we have a game, or kind of a program, called Keyboard Master. Now, Keyboard Master's for those of you who want to really hone in your keyboard typing skills, and they went about it in the worst way possible. Now, the description here says, while you play the game trying to improve yourself as a master, a pleasant procedural generated piano note sounds for each key. Now I need you to hear what pleasant procedural generated piano sounds like. Don't do this. After that, this is just a quick one I want to tell you about because I used to have one of these as a kid growing up. It was like a little puzzle. It was like a little wooden puzzle where you had a shape and you had a bunch of other smaller shapes of different kinds of shapes. You had to put in the first shape. Basically, you just have to fit all the puzzle pieces inside the shadow. Anyway, this is called Patchwork Image, and you just do exactly that. It's a puzzle game where they give you a whole mess of little pieces, and you have to figure out how the fuck you put them all into the little shape they have on the right. I just think that's neat. Coming up after that is a small MMO reminiscent of old 90s games like RuneScape called Estonia Resurgence, maybe Estonia. It's just like a super, super old school MMO game, and I didn't know there was really a market still for this stuff. It's just so old. I understand you want to play some nostalgic games like Wolfenstein or Doom with the corridors and the running, but this... I couldn't do it. But maybe you can. They have PvP. After that, we have a cool old school platform. Capcom Arcade Stadium is going to be out May 24th. Capcom is going to release 32 of their old school games, such as Dynasty Warriors, Street Fighter II Turbo, 1942, and Ghouls and Goblins. Now, each one of these little games is going to be the original old school, probably SNES era version of it, but you're going to be able to play it in Steam. And each of these packs are going to run you $2 for each of the different games. So if you want Super Street Fighter II Turbo, that's going to be $2. You also want Giga Wing or Ghosts and Goblins, $2 each. In total, you could buy the whole pack on sale when it comes out, it looks like, for $40. So if you're really into that old school vibe, there you go. After that, on May 25th, we have a game called King of Seas. In King of Seas, you're going to pick whichever boat you want to go with, whether you pick a fast boat with a couple of cannons or a very slow boat with a bunch of them, and you basically Guns of Icarus yourself on the high seas. If you never played Guns of Icarus, it's a game in which you use airships to battle one another. This is just that same thing, but on water. Congratulations. King of Seas actually looks like a lot of fun. It's produced by Team 17, who normally makes Worm games. Worms World Tour, Worms Armageddon, etc. May 25th, check it out. This is just a side note from May 25th. The DLC for Cloudpunk is coming out called City of Ghosts. Now, this expands the story and gives you an additional playable character as well as a bunch of other extras. I know a couple of you had already been playing Cloudpunk in the community, so if you're still enjoying it, check out the DLC on May 25th. After that, on May 25th, we also have a game called Biomutant. Now, this is a big release by THQ Nordic. It's going to run you $60. As far as I can tell, this is a game where you play a raccoon and you're in like a Witcher kind of a game. Or maybe a Dark Souls. Maybe you're the raccoon of the Dark Souls world. I'm not really sure, but it's an action-adventure platform. Open world, post-apocalyptic, kung fu fable RPG. They're just making shit up now. You play as a raccoon and you like to cut stuff. Don't let them fool you. After that, sometime on abouts or around May 25th, we also have World Champions Decathlon. Now, this is going to be a throwback to old school Nintendo games like the Nintendo Olympics back in the day, where you can do things such as the 110-meter hurdles, pole vault, javelin throw, the 100-meter race, and the long jump. Now, this does support online multiplayer, so you can go apparently head-to-head if you wanted to. Do you want to see if you're the best in the world at the 100-meter race? Well, now you can. Set to the setting of Nintendo's 1987 graphics. Oh, this next one I'm very excited about. On May 27th, you can play Castle Flipper. You've played House Flipper. You've played Train Station Flipper. You've played old gas station Flipper. Now, it's fucking Castle Flipper. You get to inherit an old castle that's all beat up, run down. You gotta clean it up, rebuild, put the walls back up, put statues of knights and shit. You get to rebuild your castle. Holy shit, I'm so excited. You can build giant-ass walls, small walls, decorate however you want. Oh my god. You get to build an entire kingdom. This is gonna be hot. This is gonna be the hottest simulator game of 2021. I'm calling it right now. Castle Flipper. I'm obviously buying it. After that, from 1C Entertainment, and again, some of these, it's like the game right before it came out on the 26th or the 27th, and then some of these games will sit between like the 27th and the 30th, but they'll say TBD, or coming in 2021. We know when it's gonna drop, because we can see it right in between two other dates. Anyway, after that, we have Graven, which is a throwback to Hexen, Doom, Quake of the 1990s. It's a gritty, dark fantasy world where you use both melee weapons and some kind of magical powers to blast your way and slice and cut and destroy your way through the worlds to battle the horrors of humanity and save the kingdom, probably. I don't know, it doesn't really say anything else, but that's what you do. But this is from 1C Entertainment. 1C Entertainment's a huge developer, and if I had any faith that anyone would be able to do a game like this, it would be 1C Entertainment. So check that out. Oh, dude, what? Is this a rhythm game where you play the trombone? I don't need to know anything else about this. How do you do this? Honk, blow, and toot your way through over 20 songs? After that, this game I just discovered, and this is the most exciting discovery of 2021. You can get Trombone Champ. This is a rhythm game in which you have to play the trombone to the beat. I'm not sure what keys you press to do it. I don't even need to explain this shit to you. Just listen to this hot track. What else do you need to know? Fucking buy it. Add it to your wish list. Don't be stupid. Don't make the biggest mistake of 2021. Go get the trombone game. After that, somewhere around May the 29th, a game called Haunt Chasers coming out. Now, there's very little information on the page, but what I can tell is that it's a 4-player online co-op horror game where, very similar to Phasmo, it says you have to use your equipment in order to hunt and banish a poltergeist and save the souls from torment. Now, I can't tell if this is supposed to be a first-person or a third-person game because there are so many different screenshots that really don't show anything, and the movie doesn't show anything else either. This could be a really cool horror game to play with 4 other people, but I need to know more about it. After that, on around May the 31st, we have a game called Dead Static Drive. Now, this stood out to me just because of the really interesting style that this game is done in. It appears to be an action survival game in which you try to survive against some kind of a worm or zombie threat that's taken over the area. I'm not sure. I believe it's story-based. Again, there's not a lot of information out there on it, but it does look like an action shooter survival game, and honestly, I'm sold just on the look of it alone. The style of this game is insane. This should be really good. After that, moving into June 1st, we have Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Now, this is probably why Capcom was releasing all those other arcade older hits, is because I didn't realize they were redoing or remastering Ghosts and Goblins. So this is like the brand new edition, gonna run you $30. I mean, the people who are gonna buy this already know what Ghosts and Goblins is, so you know it's like one of the hardest platformer action games ever made. Good luck. It is historically legendary for how punishing the game is. Okay, on June the 1st, remember how earlier I was talking about Guns of Icarus and I was like, this is a multiplayer fucking airship battle game? Well, check this out. Blackstorm is gonna be a multiplayer battle royale spaceship game. It looks like it's basically Guns of Icarus, but in space. You have a space airship, you get a crew of 3, so you and 2 friends hop on your space airship, and you go battle it out on a battle royale in space. I'm absolutely obviously playing this. No question. Also on June the 1st, I didn't want to leave out any survival simulation fans. You can pick up Going Medieval. This is going to be a colony building sim where you survive the turbulent Middle Age. So if you're happy with games like RimWorld and Civilization, where you have a lot of stuff to manage, people and assets and buildings and all of that and danger, this is for you. If you enjoy the medieval period, you can design an entire base, an entire castle area with underground and above ground. There's going to be combat. It's full of stuff. If you are the kind of patient person that likes this sort of thing, this might be right up your alley. All right, this next one looks super fucking cool. It's called Necromunda Hired Gun. Now, this is set in the Warhammer 40K universe, where you are a hired gun. You're a PvP bounty hunter of some kind with a dog that helps you take in bounties and take out evil dudes. Now, this just seems like an FPS adventure game in which you're blasting your way through the entire world. I am absolutely for it. This looks insane. The graphics in the world, they're taken from all of the 40K universe, so there's just an infinite amount of cool content and locations they can pull from. This is gonna be neat. $39. This is just a note for those people who play the Elder Scrolls Online. You have a new expansion pack coming to you June the 1st called Blackwood. I don't know shit about it because I don't play that game, but if you play Elder Scrolls, I bet you already knew about it, so I don't even know why I included this. This is really cool as well. There's just so much cool stuff coming out soon. Relic Hunter's Legend finally gets an early access release. It looks like the 1st or 2nd of June, because again, it's where it appears in the list. I did a video on this game way back in the day. This is a 4-player co-op action shoot 'em up, and it's so cool. It's like Enter the Gungeon if you could play Enter the Gungeon on these big open kind of future-y maps with 4 people. It's gonna be free to play, by the way. Oh, did I forget to mention that? Yeah, it's free. Are you guys sick of battle royales yet? Probably, but yet we're getting Grit. Grit is a battle royale Wild West third-person shooter. I guess, like, all I could say is I don't think we had a Wild West battle royale yet, so that'll be good. Can we, developers, please, can we stop making battle royales? It's done. The horse is dead. It's been beaten to death. After that, on June the 2nd, we have an Animal Crossing looking inspired game called Hoko Life. Now this just looks like if you didn't get to play Animal Crossing on the Switch, this might be something that may interest you if you're into those kinds of games. You take your new life to the village of Hoko, you get an old workshop, and you get to craft and build and design, I think, the entire island, as well as gathering materials, fishing, hunting, doing all that kinds of stuff that you would do in these kinds of games. So again, if you don't own a Switch, this might be right up your alley. This may be very cool. Hoko Life. And last up, on the 3rd of June, we have a game called The Magnificent Truffle Pigs. I don't know what is up with that title, but because I've been really into simulation games, I just included this. This is apparently an adventure, story-rich, atmospheric simulation game in which you take a metal detector and you have to go looking for something that you've been missing. I think the story's tied to maybe you finding whatever it is that you've lost. I don't know. I just know that I've always wanted to own a metal detector myself, and that seems like it could be a really neat, relaxing game to play. Anyway, so that's it. Those are your games for the next 2 weeks. Now, obviously, there's like 200 or 300 games, and that's not an exaggeration, coming out in the next 2 weeks on Steam. I did not cover most of them, but I went through and picked out the ones that either seemed interesting or crazy or weird in some way that stood out. Now, there's like 30 RPG Maker games and like a million porn games, and it's just, at some point, those get tiring. So I try to pick the interesting ones. You can let me know in the comments down below if there's something coming out that I missed that's big that you think everyone should know about. But that's it. There's your list. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be trying to do this more often, but it's been hard to do with the amount of time. It's just been hard to do with the amount of time that I have recently, because these videos take a long time to make. We'll figure out something. Anyway, as always, let me know what you think, let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and until next time, burn bright, everybody.